Hi there, and welcome back. If you haven't been with us before, we're guiding this small village on its path to becoming a larger village. It's now the third year that the village has been going. We have a sheep pasture at this end of the village. We have a lovely new fishing dock that we've added. Some storage for that. We've got some houses and some fields. Got a new apiary we just added in. Woodcutter. And our forest area where we plant new trees. Things are going well for everyone here in town. It's a fairly new town. We've got lots of children growing up. Mostly things are just nice and peaceful here. Everyone has a place. Everyone feels needed here. And that's pretty wonderful. I'm not sure what's going to happen this year. We'll wait and see. There's not a lot of things the town's in need of at the moment, which is nice. All of our basic issues have been taken care of. Add a herbalist in. Make sure that everyone stays nice and healthy. Now we're just concentrating on making sure everyone has enough food. We'll also add in another gathering hut that can bring more food for everyone. One of my favorite things about Banished is the what ifs, the endless possibilities. That there's so many different things that could happen, that we could build. And there's something pretty wonderful about that, about the endless possibilities. And so the town continues to slowly grow and increase its food stores. Live off the land. Planting some new bean fields now. We added a field of squash over here. It takes a little longer to grow, so it won't be ready for a while. That's alright, we're not in a rush. Let's make sure we've got enough logs to do all of our building. Keep an eye on our tools and our firewood and our coats. Make sure we have enough of all of those. And we'll begin making sure that we've got even more food coming in. We have a new laborer. One of our students has grown up and will now become an adult in our village. Which is a good reminder to us to make sure there's enough housing for everyone as well. So we'll ask our builders to put some more houses in. But first things first, we need to make sure everyone stays healthy. So we'll finish putting in our herbalist. We've got lots of students that are graduating now. That's good. Our first generation is starting to grow up. Added some much needed help to our workforce. So we'll set some of them to work cutting down more trees for us, while the others continue to build. And our herbalist moves closer to completion. Still some things that we haven't provided for the people yet. There's no tavern yet to provide ale to them. That'll come in a little while, but not yet. We're just moving out of the subsistence phase where we struggled to make sure that we had enough of everything for everyone. And now we're moving into making sure that there's lots of food in store. Now I think we'll set a priority on our new gathering hut, because it'll become very important to us. The more people we have, the more people will be eating, and we want to make sure that there's enough food for everyone. The fields are good for us. They get us so far. We could certainly look at adding a few more farmers in. I like this portion of things where we're still growing and learning, and everything's laid out in front of us. We're still trying to figure out where everything goes and how things should fit together. Just like life, I guess. Often we try to figure out where things fit. Sometimes we feel like we don't fit, but everyone fits somewhere. Maybe if you feel like you don't fit, the problem isn't that it's not you, it's maybe you're just a really special piece, and there's only a certain place that you can go. I like that. That's kind of a nice thought. You're just too special for them, that's all. They should be the ones worrying, not you. Alright, our gatherer's hut is moving closer to being complete. Here as we move into the early part of the summer. In year 3 it's still raining. Some of our students are graduating. Farmers are working their fields. Add another farmer to the field. And slowly our gatherer's hut becomes closer to a reality. Once our crops are in, the farmers will come to help as well, and then we'll have more people to lend a hand, to lend assistance. But until then, they have to concentrate on bringing in the crop, because that'll be pretty urgent for us. More mouths to feed. Got to make sure everybody's got something. Here in our town, we make sure that everyone is treated equally. There's no rich and poor, there's no downtrodden. Everyone is treated the same. our beekeepers are working hard to provide us with some honey. It's been a good year for them so far, bringing in lots of food for us. Looks like our food is a little bit low, but we're not going to worry about that. Worrying's not going to get us anywhere. We're just going to need to make sure that we've got people helping out. Making sure our crops come in on time. That we're not leaving anything out in the fields. We're going to need our blacksmith to go back to work soon. Make sure that everyone's got tools to work with. And that's okay too. And all the while we have new workers coming on to work for us. And it's just occurred to me we don't actually have a blacksmith yet. So we're going to need to build one of those. That's alright, we can do that. And that'll become a very important thing for us, but I still think it's really important for us to get this gatherer's hut over here built. It's taking a little while because it's a little further away from the town, so it takes everyone a little bit longer to get there. And we're also worrying a lot about making sure our food is ready. Sorry, we shouldn't be worrying. We're making sure our food is coming in. Because again, worrying's not going to do anything for us. That's not what will solve our problem for us. Acting will solve our problem, dealing with our problem. That's what we need to do. And so that's what we'll do. We can see we have 4 trees, 4 logs left to remove before we can start adding the building materials. And so once again we'll wander across the land, checking in, seeing how people are doing. Everyone seems to be busily working hard. And slowly we add to and increase the number of people we have gathering food for us. We got a worker that's coming to help us out. It occurs to me another problem that we have is that every time they take a log, they have to bring it all the way back to the other stockpile. So we'll put one a little bit closer and that'll speed things up. Of course, it's mostly done now, but that's okay. It's really an enjoyable experience doing this and playing and talking to you. I'm really relaxing myself as well. It's good, it's therapeutic from my side of things for sure. I hope that you're enjoying it as well. Don't need to think a lot about it right now, just that's my hope for you, is that you're enjoying and relaxing and getting from your experience what you want from it. Looks like it's harvest time over here. So we'll watch them bring in the beans. Our squash over here is starting to come in as well. It's early in the autumn and the fall. The deer are watching, hoping maybe some squash gets left behind and come and eat. Certainly they'll enjoy the leaves. And our game is telling us we need to get our blacksmith done. Otherwise we'll be out of tools shortly. Can't run out of tools. Once our crops come in, we'll have a few more workers that can help us out. And our laborers, women and men, are coming to clear the area for our blacksmith. And once it's ready, we'll set to work building right away, making sure everyone has the tools they need to last through the winter. It's tricky in our third year. There's a lot of things we want to focus on all at the same time, but we don't have enough manpower to focus on all of them at the same time. I guess in a way it's kind of like in your own life. There's a lot of things you want to do. There's a lot of things you love to focus on and spend your energy on, but you only have a certain amount of energy. And if you use it incorrectly, then everything kind of falls apart. So I guess we just need to be patient and let things happen. Not try to take on too many things all at the same time. Our food stores are looking good now. Our crops are starting to come in. That should give us enough food to get through the winter. Start saving some up for the winter following. Start getting ahead. Need to make sure our blacksmith has enough iron. There we go. And the building has begun. And our farmers are picking up the very last of the crop to bring in from our fields, which means we can use their labors elsewhere. I'm just waiting our builders to arrive and set to work finishing up the blacksmith. I think our timing will be good. We're just on the verge of not having enough tools. And soon we'll have new tools. And it's late in the year, late autumn now. third year has been one of slow growth but steady growth. We saw more food come in than we've seen before. And that will help because our population is growing. Constantly growing. Just how we want it. Just starting to run out of tools now. Nothing to panic about. Once our blacksmith building has been finished, we'll begin making more tools right away. As the snow begins to fall. As winter has arrived. And our blacksmith is done. We spent a lot of time working on that, so we didn't have as much time to work on our gatherer's hut, which will be important to us as well, because we'll need that food. And then we'll need to focus on building more houses to grow our town. Trying to keep everything in balance. It's hard sometimes. Sometimes we don't keep everything in balance, and that's okay too. And if we don't, we'll just make sure that we try harder. That we allow ourselves to make that mistake. That we don't beat ourselves up for not being perfect. Our gatherer's hut is now being built. Harder when it's so far away from everything else in the town because everyone has to wander over here to work. That takes up a bit of time too. And now it's early in the winter. Soon this will be done, and we'll even have enough workers to come and gather. Our blacksmith is now taking logs and iron and turning them into tools. We're just adding some small stockpiles that will allow the tools that he needs to come in. And our gatherer's hut is complete. And at least for the winter, we'll have a few more people working there. And when summer comes, we'll turn our attention back to the fields. Now it's time to finish these other two houses. We have another student. Our firewood cutter is doing so, making sure we have enough firewood. And everyone still has a part to play. Everyone's still quite busy. Some people's jobs are just a bit more obvious, maybe. Some people are picking up whatever jobs need to be done and doing them. That's a good thing too. Our pasture is becoming more and more full. Soon we'll need to build another pasture. We'll be able to get more wool, build a tailor, provide more coats for everyone. You can see now our blacksmith has finished building some of the tools. And that he's solved our problem for us, that we were out of tools for a very short period of time. And we aren't anymore. Our houses are being built. We've accomplished a lot for a single year. It didn't seem like it for a while, but we did. And this is the last building that we needed to build this year. The last one that was on the plan. It's nice and peaceful when the snow's falling. Hides all those imperfections and makes everything look smooth. Our teacher has moved into the last house we built, as well as her husband, who is a beekeeper. Nice and close to both of their jobs. And there we go, we finished all of the buildings we needed to build this year. And so the rest of the time this year, what little of it remains, will simply be gathering stockpiles, gathering some iron, gathering some stone for the next buildings that we choose to build down the line. And bringing in more food. Always more food. And as late winter turns back to spring, the snow starts to go away, and our year comes to a close. It was a good year for the people of the town. They finished the winter with quite a bit of food left in store, and that's a welcome relief. And as the winter comes to a close, so will we to this chapter. And we'll pick up fresh in year 4. Hopefully the story of this town and its people is still interesting to you, entertaining. Always love to hear anything you might have to share about it, or about your experience, or anything you'd like to add or share. It's quite common for people to sort of just say that they like to hear from people, or feedback, that kind of thing, but it's really very true. It's good to know what people are thinking. You should never be afraid to share what you're thinking, right? Well, that's going to bring us to the beginning of year 4, so we will pick that up later. And thank you very much for spending time with me. I appreciate it. And I hope that you have a pleasant day or night or sleep or whatever it is you're about to do. Thanks. Bye.